Do you not see the promise with this project?
I think it's, I mean, from the beginning, like we were talking with, that goes back to what we were talking to Marvin and whatchamacallit. I think it's a long, long shot. The finance is the main thing. I think it's a grandiose idea, but I mean, I hope it comes through. We're praying for you. But
How do we get in?
You gotta give a number.
What's the number?
I don't know. Noisemaker?
Drawing, and as it turns out, I just see who it should be.
You see who it should be?
Yeah, as I draw, I'm thinking how it would turn out, so then I know.
And they see I'm strong and getting stronger as a chef. While making 3 salads at once is a lot easier than making about 20 salads at once.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can, you know, in my head I can make them, but I only have 2 arms.
Polygon. If you see that, here's the, look at the outline, here's an octagon, right?
Yep.
Then the new one is going to be, I'm going to turn it over and say, now here's an octagon to do another purse.
Start on the other
I'm going to do another
side.
purse. And I can do many.
Spread the tobacco evenly. Still got the tray, still in the tray. And this is where, I don't know how to describe this part, but you go from tray to, now you got it, you're holding between, you got it like this, the thumbs get involved, a little rubby on the paper.
You go to the middle for that.
Index, fold, start
Yes.
the roll.
You're making a latte. Or
Sometimes you lick twice.
So there you go. That's the effect.
And then you light that end.
Well, how do you know which light to end?
The part that's on the side that's on the roller's right, as far as I'm concerned.
It's so hard to keep. At some point, I kind of know what I want to be talking about, but I'm not quite sure how to talk about it or what's necessary to speak clearly with materials and with the space and with, well, let me just say those 2. And so, you know, it kind of evolves, and mostly...
Those are hills, and those are circles, and that's a little, and hills again, and the big hill, and that makes bigger and bigger.
What came first? Which drawing came first?
This one.
Ah.
And then I...
Oh, you're kidding. You called when I was being a pioneer. That was the first thing I could do was sing. So we used to sing a lot.
We'll try.
This is not my drawings after my hospital, after when I was in hospital, but this is what it was like. And at that point I was exhausted.
see? What do you see, Mac? What do you see?
No, no.
Don't look into the sun. They say don't look into the sun. Well, that means you must look into it. Right? Isn't that what
That's scribble scrabble and you find what's in it.
So how do you begin something like this?
You just scribble all over the paper.
And then what do you find in it? How do you find things in it?
Just look.
You just look?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question about the sound you're making? What do you like about it? What do you like about it? Or how would you describe it? Say anything. There's no wrong answer. That's nice. Can you play it?
I'll be here until 7.
Yeah.
And I'll be back at 4. So, you know. Okay, very good. And if for some reason it's convenient, you know, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
I like it.
I'd like to welcome you all to Lemon Hills Tranquil Music Night. Beer is $1. Wonderful bands, in no particular order, but actually the featured order, Weeding the Taxi.
Well, there are moments when you forget yourself, and that's when it happens. And we work towards that.
You have enough stuff?
Well, I'm not much up speaking about anything today. I'm just trying to get my own stuff cleared up, and I'm working on a thing I have to write. So my mind's all concentrated on that because I think I finally got a good idea, and I'm writing about an art show. So
All right. Well,
take care of yourself.
you too.
All right.
I'll catch up with you later.
All right.
Thanks again. Bye. What are you doing exactly? Was it broken?
No.
It wasn't broken?
It was broken. Yeah.
It was broken. So what do? You did you put a new one in? You put a new one in?
Go inside and unlock the door for you.
Oh, you're putting the new one in. It's a funny thing to see the phone being taken away. It's like the phone got sick or something.
How many, do you own a shop around here somewhere?
No.
Oh, no?
I visit one for coffee a lot though.
This is a long time coming, you know. You got to the point where you don't make no money.
Oh, because they weren't making money, so they're just taking it away?
Well, that's the problem. They have phone line problems. And the lines go up in these ceilings over here.
Is that right?
It's very difficult to get.
So they're not going to replace it? It was a losing proposition.
Well, you might say that.
Anyway.
Hello? Hello?
But I like that it's not that
More expensive than ever. Is that what it says? Yeah. To make Baltimore expensive. More expensive than ever. Gotcha. It's good.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 9th in a series of 9 public hearings held by the Baltimore City Planning Commission on Live, Earn, Play, Learn Master Plan for a World-Class City. My name is Peter Offenkoff, and I'm your chair. I see a few signs out in the audience. Could you guys hold them up for me? Hold them up high. There we go. Thank you very much for caring and being part of the plan. We appreciate you being here.
Even though the city hasn't done a new plan in 35 years, we in our communities have been working on plans for years. And you know how humiliating it is when we don't see our plans in there.
Give us this day our daily bread, but forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever.
Politicians for office who actually speak to these issues. We're approaching like a new period.
People would rather look at painting in any way except their eyes. They can help some people who are unfamiliar with it. But I think where we get into a problem with is when the words become substitutes.
how do you decide where to begin and you know, or what color strikes it you as?
Begin by making a mess.
You begin by making a mess.
If it doesn't talk to me, I go to something else and come back to it. Still doesn't talk to me, I make another mess on top of that. The way it talks to me is usually by saying, I would really like to have a nice bunch of red right here. You know? And if it says that, I'll do it. Sometimes it doesn't work.
Can you say that dream again? Speak of the dream again?
Well, I took off in a rowboat, a canoe, some kind of canoe rowboat with my mother's parents, my grandparents. And we started rowing, and we get out into the water, and then after a while, we don't see any land at all, and we weren't sure where we were going, and a Coast Guard cutter passed us by. It looked like a cutter, and we waved, but they kept on going, and we were all by ourselves. So we finally, after so many hours, we landed at this beach. It looked like some kind of resort. I mean, a lot of people on the beach and stuff. And we go into this restaurant, and my grandmother said she was thirsty. We go up to this water fountain, and she gets get a cup of fill it with water for her and give it to her. And then I said, "Are you hungry?" And they said, "Yes." I start looking around to see where the restaurant is, and then when I turned back to get them, they disappeared. I left, and I look at my watch, and it's like 1 or 2 o'clock, and I figured, well, I got a long way to go back home.
Don't seem
You
to.
have had multiple projects that you keep talking about. I wish you success on all of them, but I tend to feel that unless you get some help, none of them will come to fruition. And you'll be sitting in Starbucks at age 50. Still planning projects.
Planning projects.
Planning projects that don't get off the ground.
Or don't get on the ground. Or
you don't get, you are...
Because they don't get on the ground?
You are a decent human being and a nice person.
But that doesn't get you anywhere.
But you haven't, you don't have a
direction.
A roadmap for direction.
A direction, right.
You just come up with ideas that don't go anywhere.
Ideas that don't go anywhere. I like that. Thank you.